Hey everyone, it's Keeley here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video where we're going to go and make a custom order soap. Now this soap is for Samantha, who contacted me quite some time ago asking if I could make 20 bars of soap for a baby shower where the gender of the baby isn't known. I gave her a few different ideas, including doing some very gender neutral ones, including some green or some yellow soaps, and I then also offered to do a more traditional colours with a white base and the blue and pink swirled through it. And I suggested maybe doing a clean cotton in that sort of colour combination because it goes with both the colours and it's just really nice for a baby shower fragrance. Plus it's one of my more popular fragrances when it comes to my soap range. Samantha decided she really liked that idea of incorporating both the blue and the pink in there rather than going completely gender neutral, and that's what we're going to go and do today. We're going to go and make a clean cotton baby shower soap using both pink and blue. Let's go. All right, so let's get on with making this soap. As always, I'm going to start by just gently pouring in my lye water into my oils, just making sure we don't get any splashback. And that's in there. So I'm going to give this just a bit of a light blend with the stick blender, just to bring those together. All right, I've just brought that to emulsion, so it's not quite at light trace. I can't see it sort of creating trails on the top, but I can see that all my oil and lye is actually holding together on my stick blender. Just so I don't get too much soap everywhere, I'm just gonna give that a quick wipe down. And then we're going to split it out for some colour. So into this pot I've got some titanium dioxide mixed with some water. I have kind of got into the habit now that when I'm actually doing a white base on my soap and I'm not sure how the fragrance oil is going to behave, I mix a batch of titanium dioxide up like that to get it blended, because you really do need the action of the stick blender to get that titanium dioxide to flow through. Then I pour it into my big bucket and it makes it easier to mix through without accelerating that trace, which titanium dioxide is really known for. And I say I don't know what it's going to do, even though I soap with clean cotton all the time. It's one of these that it has good days and it has bad days, depending what it wants to do. Into this one, I have gone for some cerulean blue. We're going to go for about half a jug because I don't want too much colour that it muddies together. And in this one, I have got some bubblegum pink with a little bit of titanium dioxide. I know this gives me a really nice girly sort of pink, you know, a baby sort of pink. So we've got that. Let's get these colours mixed. And as I said, I will pour this titanium dioxide back into that big pot there. All right, so let's see how clean cotton actually wants to behave today. I think it does come down a lot to the temperature that I'm soaping at, as well as the sort of environmental aspects as well, and it just changes for me every single time. I just got to get that right balance between whether it's a cool day and what temperature I do my soaps with, or whether it's a hot humid day. It just really affects fragrances. I've said it in so many videos before, this is one of the reasons I don't actually test my fragrances and I never follow people's recommendations on how fragrances behave, because anything different, such as humidity in the air, can actually affect how that fragrance is going to behave. I struggle to soap with lemongrass and Persian lime in summer because it just does not want to behave, but I can make it in winter. So I always tend to make a batch of lemongrass, Persian lime just before it starts to warm up, unless I can get the aircon on and keep the room nice and cool. But yeah, that's my sort of reason why I kind of wing it every time with this. But it does look like today we've got that perfect combination of environmental factors and the temperature I have my oils out, so that's quite nice. All right, let me finish getting this mixed in and then we'll go and grab the mold. All right, so we've got the mold, and I said that we would do pink and blue swirl. So I'm going to try and get curly whirly happening, and it looks like we might have just a little bit of ricing in that. Oh no, let me see if I can fix this up. Yeah, we've definitely got a bit of ricing happening in that mold. See, it can just be so naughty sometimes, this fragrance. You think it's doing well, and then you discover it's done something naughty. It's the beauty of using silicone liners for your soap. You can actually pour the soap back out of it and make a ton of mess while you're doing it. It's starting to thicken up in there, so we don't have much time now, but I have managed to get that ricing out of the white. So let's pour about half of that in. We'll just give that a bit of a move around, because sometimes that will loosen it back up. Oh, I spoke too soon. Yes, it doesn't want to play nice today, but that's okay. We'll work with things. A lot of people say to me that they're always surprised at how I handle it when my soaps accelerate and be naughty. But one of the things I always say to people is that one of the worst things you can do when your soap is misbehaving is start to panic, because you are likely to make more mistakes, more mess, possibly even hurt yourself. So if things aren't going quite as planned, just stay calm and go with the flow. So I'm going to say that clearly that the clean cotton does not like whatever is in that pink mica. Normally I only ever soap with blues with clean cotton. I have done yellows as well, because it kind of smells a bit like daisies to me, so occasionally I have done yellows, but normally I do blues, and the blues don't, as you saw, don't really kind of accelerate like that pink has. So I think I will stick to doing my my pinks, my blues for clean cotton. Though I will always suggest this as an alternative to people who are wanting a baby soap, because I think this is going to be absolutely pretty. I'm going to get these all scraped out, and then I will do the top up and give you a closer look. So there it is, we've got our pink and blue clean cotton in the mold. I actually do need to go and make a second loaf of this, a little mini loaf, because we do need 20 for this order. My loaf only does 18. I know I could have probably have done them together. If I was doing 2 big loaves, I would have, because I know how much soap to pour out of the pot for each loaf. But for this one, I just figured I'll do the big one and then I'll do the smaller one off screen, just so that I make sure I've got the right color ratios into each of them. But I'm going to leave this one set overnight, and we'll be back shortly and we'll get them cut open and see what we've got on the inside. All right, it is the next day and we are ready to cut into our custom loaf, and I'm liking the colors of the pink and blue on the top of this one. It is smelling really nice as well. I do like clean cotton, and it is always really popular in my soap range whenever I have clean cotton. It's a part of my everyday range, but I also do it occasionally as like daisies and things, and it always flies off the shelf. I did also make a second one so we can get the extra 2 soaps, and I think I've managed to get the exact same colors. This one's going to be cut as part of a reel that's going to go up on socials, but would you believe it, the clean cotton behaved in this smaller version. I can just never tell what clean cotton is going to do in my soaps, though I must also admit what I did was add the fragrance into the soap before I did the color, and I think that really helped. So before I actually mixed the colour, I should say. So I was actually mixing that ricing out at the same time as mixing the colours, and then the pink in this smaller bar stayed nice and fluid. But let's see what we got inside this one. Oh, I love how that has come up. Really, really nice. And that's the other side of that one there. Absolutely perfect when you don't know if it's a boy or a girl and you don't want to kind of go those natural neutral colors instead. I think this is absolutely perfect. I think I might also add this soap onto my website for anyone, like I've put in a custom and bulk order soap section, so I actually might list this in there as a soap that people can actually order as well. So, oh, all sorts of plans going through my head, but oh, look at that one with that curly whirly through it. Absolutely love how it's come up. There is a little bit of glycerin as we're getting into the sort of center of this, which must have been where it got really quite warm, but it will add to the soap, and it also makes it a lovely bar of soap to use when you've got all that glycerin river in there. It's a natural byproduct of soap making, and it's what makes handmade soap feel so good on the skin. But I am absolutely loving the swirls. I actually thought, because of how thick this went, we might not get the swirls, but I am super happy with this. So I do hope you've enjoyed coming along with me as I made this custom order soap. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you then. Bye.